welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count. I'm Two Belts Machine MJ, and I'm here today to talk about Smackdown from June the 2nd, or I'm sorry, July the 2nd. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Start off with an in-ring promo from Edge, the rated R superstar who made his return last week by ambushing Roman Reigns. Anyway, he had a promo where he talked about how there we go. Anyway, where he talked about how he could have made the whined and complained about not getting his one-on-one shot, about how he could have beat Roman if it wasn't for Jey Uso, if it wasn't for Daniel Bryan, but he's above that because he knows he can beat Roman. And then he throws to a picture of him at Mania where he's got Roman in a submission hold using the reinforcement bar of a steel chair as a modifier. And, he's saying he can do it again come Money in the Bank. Anyway, after that promo concluded, there was a backstage segment in Roman's dressing room where Jimmy Uso was talking with Paul Heyman, saying he's going to go out there and he's going to make Edge put some respect on Roman Reigns' name. He's going to go handle business. Of course, Paul Heyman didn't say a damn word. Next, we had tag team action as Big E and Shinsuke Nakamura, the new King of the Ring. Well, not officially. He just won Baron Corbin's crown. Anyway, took on the team of Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. They played Baron Corbin's, his King theme. And the announcer was about to announce him as King Corbin, but he just announced him as Baron Corbin. And the music kind of died after that. Baron Corbin being just disheveled after losing his crown 2 weeks ago. He's on a downward spiral. Towards the end of the match, Corbin was distracted by a video of his car getting repossessed. Of course, again, he's fallen on hard times, and that that gave Big E the opportunity to hit the big ending and put Baron Corbin away. Next, there was a promo from Bayley, who was, she was over the moon about how she got a victory over Bianca Belair after the shenanigans in last week's mixed tag team match. She caught Bianca slipping, and she says, well, it's a downward spiral. First you slip, then you get caught. And then Bianca Belair hit the ring and basically said, I'm tired of dealing with Bayley, so, I'm going to put an end to it. So she challenged her to an I Quit match at Money in the Bank. And of course, Bayley went on a tangent about, I'm never going to quit. This is my life, If I say I quit, and that means, I'll leave this brand. I'll leave this company. I'll leave professional wrestling. And then Bianca Belair punctuated with saying, I'm tired of hearing you run your mouth, but for once, it's going to be nice hearing you run your mouth when you say those two words. I quit. and then it's on. Next, there was another backstage segment where main event Jimmy Uso said he was going to talk to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce and call out Edge at the end of the show for a brawl. That's pretty much it. Speaking of a brawl, next match was a last man standing match to qualify for Money in the Bank between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now, I talked about in the Elite Count video where the MJF and Sammy Guevara match, slowly pressed the gas. This went about half throttle. Like they were beating the hell out of each other, more Kevin Owens than Sami Zayn. But it was more methodical than just, hammer, hammer, hammer. But the finish came when Sami Zayn said, "How did we end up here?" Kevin Owens said, "This is karma." And then he power bombed Sami Zayn through the announce table, picked him back up, power bombed him again through a random table that was set up, and as a long ass callback, picked him up and power bombed him on the apron. Callback to the night at NXT. I think it was Arrival. It was one of the early takeover pay-per-views. The one where Sami Zayn picked up the NXT title off of Neville. Was it Neville? Yes, off of Neville. And Kevin Owens turned on him, dropped him with an apron powerbomb. Just big ass callback, and it was one hell of a fight between them. Anyway, next we had a backstage promo where Edge basically said he's tired of Roman's games. He's going to go out there and face Jimmy, whether it's a trap or not. And next, there was a backstage segment where Rick Boogs, who's Shinsuke's guitarist, is just making some King jokes at the expense of Baron Corbin. And Corbin just told him, screw off. Next, we had Sonya Deville announce the next competitor in the women's Money in the Bank match, or the Smackdown leg of it, I should say. As she announced, and this was one hell of a shock, Zelina Vega. Now, Zelina Vega left the company under, well, not too happy circumstances. I believe it was last year, where she put out that tweet saying, she supported unionization. So she's back, and she gets on the mic, does her thing, and she was interrupted by Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan's back on her tangent of, why does she just get handed an opportunity when she hadn't been here in months? Meanwhile, I've been putting in the work, I've been on the hustle, on the grind, and I still haven't gotten, an opportunity. So Zelina Vega starts running her mouth at Liv, and Liv says, "Oh yeah," and just slaps the taste out of her mouth, which leads to a match. Yeah, this was a I would say short and sweet, but it barely lasted 3 minutes, and Zelina Vega got beat by a surprise roll-up with a handful of tights. C'est la vie, I guess. Next, there was a backstage segment where Seth Rollins was absolutely fuming with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. I forgot Adam Pearce's name for a second there. absolutely fuming that he's not getting a Universal title match at Money in the Bank, but it's going to Edge. However, Rollins is getting an opportunity at Money in the Bank next week as he takes on Cesaro in one of the final qualifiers for the SmackDown side of the Money in the Bank match. The other qualifier match will be Shinsuke Nakamura or Kingsuke Nakamura taking on Baron Corbin. Next, well, it would be it would be courteous to well, it would be polite to call this a match, but it was just a straight up one-sided mugging as Otis from the Alpha Academy beat down Angelo Dawkins. Yeah, it wasn't a match. Dawkins barely got any offense in. And finally, that leads us to our main event, where Jey Uso, or I'm sorry, main event Jimmy Uso, walked out there and called out Edge. Now, before Jimmy went out there, um, Paul Heyman had some words for Jimmy, basically talking about Roman. And basically saying what Roman does is on his time, but it's for the family. Basically, getting into Jimmy's head a bit. And Jimmy calling out Edge, saying he's gonna, he's gonna beat Edge. And Edge came out saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be Jimmy Uso. You're not supposed to be anybody's bitch. But right now, you seem to be acting like Roman's bitch." But he punctuated by saying, "This isn't a trap for me. This is a trap for you." And then that doubt starts creeping its way into Jimmy's head as he keeps his eyes peeled for where Roman's at. Where's Roman at? And this leads to a brawl between the two of them. Edge gets most of the upper hand early on. Jimmy gets he gets some offense going, but he's distracted by looking for Roman, which allows Edge to come back, beat the brakes off of Jimmy some more. And then Edge grabs a steel chair, kicks out the reinforcement bar, and puts Jimmy in that submission hold where he uses the bar to the mouth as a modifier. And just keeps yelling, "Look, Roman, look, Roman, look what I'm doing to your family." It's pretty great stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this week's SmackDown review. Now, one step closer to Money in the Bank and one step closer out of the Thunderdome. So, that being said, I'm Two Belts Machine MJ, and I will see you guys next time. Ba-bang.